Hey, Shalom Toma Akim, Wa'akwathiam, Yahweh Shai Mashiach. Greetings to all my brothers and sisters in the Lord. I just came across this article, man, and all in the spirit, man. Esau has Eve lined up too, man. We all heard of this false flag with the Jersey City, the alleged Jersey City shooting. You know, all the false propaganda against the nation of Israel, primarily against the prophets and the men of the Lord, through these plants who are causing a uprising, combined with their crisis actors. You know, we're hip to Esau's lies, his games, his deception. We're not ignorant of Satan's devices. But it appears as though Eve, so-called Jake woman, so-called nigger woman, could easily wiggle her way out of it, right? You know, a lot of these women, especially the educated branch of our women, disassociate themselves with black men in general, with Israelite men in general. You know, thus we have the swirling movement. We have the economically upper echelon of the Negro woman, you know, who says she's the highest educated. You know, the ones who turn their nose up at you and snarls at you as a Jake. You know, we deal with it every day. But now we see that Esau's propaganda is also geared towards her. So it's not going to be no way out for her. You know, concerning that Jersey City shooting, I did a video on that one. And it was the Jake and the woman he was dealing with. So you can see that Esau's propaganda is against the whole nation of Israel, man and woman. And these Eves ain't going to have no way out of it, man. You know, although we have a lot of our women who know they're Israelites, you know, they might wrap their head on social media, you know, say Khan Ak, Shalom Ak. But in general, if Esau was just to come down on the men of Israel, a lot of these women would take them head wraps off and disassociate themselves with the movement, you know, and that's just common sense. We know how our women are, you know, but as you see, Esau has some propaganda lined up for the Jake woman. He's ready to bring Jacob's trouble to the whole house of Israel. And definitely against the tribe of Judah, you know, us scattered up here in the land of the north, you know, both man and woman, man. But you know, the spirit jumped on me and I was like, man, I got to cover this. You know, this is a warning, man. Esau's against both man and woman here. You women are not going to have no way out of it. He's already throwing you in it. He's throwing his propaganda against you women. And it's going to be bad, man. It's going to be bad when Jacob's trouble pops, man. Right now, Esau's just building his lying accusations. You know, we know he's lying, you know, but even you women who are not in the truth, you know, Esau and his propaganda is going to have, and through his witchcraft media, it's going to have the world at large, especially here in North America. It's going to have these Edomites against you. You know, keep in mind of the dynamic that 70% of our women are single, man. Single mothers, you know, unmarried. They're not going to have no defense, man. It's going to be really bad. We're going to see Micah 7 and 10, Isaiah 32 and 9. Well, these judgments are going to come rolling, especially my favorite, Jeremiah 4 and 31. You know, those people are going to come up against they're using the men of the Lord. You know, they call it the Black Hebrew Israelite movement. And they're coming up against it because they know, you know, it's the truth. They're not coming up against Islam. They're not coming up against pagan Christianity. They're not coming up against LGBTQ. They're not coming up against no movements, man, whether it be religious or political. But they're trying to line up the nation of Israel and chiefly the men in the truth, man. You know, Salakia. Got a little bit of a chest cold, but it's all good. Let's go ahead and get into this article, man. I might chop it up a little bit concerning it. Woman accused of assaulting 3 Jewish women. What's going on with these? Let me just read it. Woman accused of assaulting 3 Jewish women, parentheses, arrested again a day after the release. A Brooklyn miscreant accused of slapping 3 Orthodox Jewish women last week struck again on Sunday and was busted for assaulting another woman, police said. A day after she was released without bail on charges stemming from the Friday attack, Tiffany Harris was charged with assault for slugging a 35-year-old in the face on the Eastern Parkway near Underhill Avenue in Prospect Heights at about 9:15 a.m., according to police. It's unclear if Sunday's victim is Jewish, and police weren't treating the incident as a hate crime. The victim suffered swelling and bruising to her right eye from the pummeling, police said. On Friday, Harris allegedly assaulted 3 Orthodox women on Eastern Parkway near Kingston Avenue, one of at least 8 anti-Semitic incidents in the city last week. So take a good long look. This is the face that they're putting on terrorism concerning the so-called black man. You know, the nation of Edom here in Babylon, this tabernacle here in the north, has always been against the African-American male. Systemically, politically, you know, we have been oppressed. And on the other hand, you know, granted, a lot of our women have dealt with certain repercussions of this oppression. You know, a lot of them grew up without fathers. You know, a lot of them grew up in poverty. And this poverty is stemmed from a reliance on welfare. Nonetheless, you know, on the other hand, this society in whole, you know, has upheld the Israelite woman. You know, it was a deal, and that deal was introduced in the 70s with feminism, affirmative action, and welfare entitlements, to where essentially, if there was no man in the house, she could pretty much be taken care of by the state, even her children. And we know that our women took full advantage of this, most of them, you know, because we can look at the statistics of this. But here, we're looking at an article that's pretty much lining up the Israelite woman as the new face of terrorism. So, according to prophecy, you know, everything's going to be taken from these women. You know, they're going to be bare. Strip you, make you bare, man. Pertaining to the book of Isaiah chapter 32, as well as the book of Isaiah chapter 3. You know, and the book of Jeremiah chapter 4. You know. And if you have any type of spiritual insight, you can kind of see where Esau is going with this. Like I said, a lot of these women will disassociate themselves with the Israelite movement, knowing that they're Israelites. They'll turn their back on us. You know, but the way Yahweh Shai is lining it up is that he's putting in Esau's heart to demonize both the male and the female. So it's not going to be no way out. You know, Yahweh Shai and Mashiach is all we got. And aside from that, all we have is really each other. But 2/3 of our people are destroyed. We can't rely on them like that because they're lawless, you know. But as you see, man, Eve is in the game. She's about to be open season on Jake, and it's about to be open season on you, Jake woman, man. You know, so you're going to see how this is going to unfold. We already know because it's all prophesied. But all in all, man, it's not going to be good for you women. You know, you don't have strength to fight. You know, 70% of our women don't have authoritative male representation within their lives, aka a husband or a man. You know what I'm saying? So let's just say, you know, things go left, economy slides, and Esau's pretty much like, you know, we're just going to round these niggers up, just kill the niggers. You know what I'm saying? The men can somewhat fight back, even though Yahweh Shai is going to deliver 2/3 of our men to the sword. But what could you women really do? You're automatically a spoil. And that leads us to Ezekiel 23, which I might do another video on. I already did a video on this concerning how, you know, back in the ancient world, the northern tribe women and the southern tribe women were sleeping around and dealing with these Gentile men. And, you know, the Assyrians, you know, they're sleeping with the Assyrians, sleeping with the Egyptians. You know, this is something that's going on. And now in modern day, Babylon part 2, Rome part 2, this captivity, this final captivity, that's been a whole movement concerning our women. You know, they pretty much sided with Esau entirely. And the same judgments are perpetual all throughout the scriptures. So if we read Ezekiel 23, man, the Lord had risen up her own lovers, you know, to actually despise her. And that's also a precept with Jeremiah chapter 4, 30-31. That lover shall despise thee. But in Ezekiel 23, the Lord caused all the nations to come round about chariot and buckler and sword and destroy our women, you know, with fire and the sword. Wage war upon the Israelite women's households for their whoredom, Ezekiel 23 is a whole chapter about the whoredom of our women, But so we kind of can see that this is going to happen again, all over again. Esau's he already declared the Hebrew Israelite movement as a terrorist group, even though it's not, even though he's staging these false flags and he's creating this propaganda, setting up plants and sellouts to achieve his witchcraft, But nonetheless, the same perpetual judgment is about to come back, And this time it's going to be like a time never before, and it's going to cause an eradication of 2/3 of our people, and a majority of our people are women, because essentially there's 7 women to 1 man, and that's the times we're about to get into, man. And it's going to bring in Isaiah 4:1, man. These women are going to cleave hard, man, But these nations, she has hoard herself out to all these nations, man, because Babylon is a nation. It's an Edomite nation, but it is a mixing pot, just like the Babylon of old, of all the nations, man. Everyone comes here to trade, to commerce, and Eve has always cleaved into the heathen, man, and she's gonna watch these heathen come down on her, So hard times are coming, but it's all good, because guess what? Zephaniah 3:8, the Lord is about to bring all the nations to the valley of Jehoshaphat. So as Esau is coming down on our people, on our women, on our children, on the 2/3 men, those who do not have the covering of the Lord, the Lord's still going to recompense the blood of his children, man. He's going to bring them all to the valley of Jehoshaphat, and it's pretty much going to be a huge war where no one's really going to be winning. It's just going to be just bloodshed, perpetual death, perpetual war, perpetual bloodshed, man, until Yahushua eventually comes back and establishes his kingdom and destroys all the kingdoms of the earth, man. So that's pretty much what we're getting into. And we live in beautiful times because we're seeing these things unfold. We're starting to see the accuser of the brethren come with his accusations, which is going to bring in Jacob's trouble, which is actually going to bring in Yahushua busting his move. Through these particular false flags that we've been seeing through the month of December, including this one featuring the Jake woman, I just find it pretty ironic that just Sunday, was that December 30th, I believe? Yep, today's Monday. So just last night, Sunday, early Monday morning, Sunday night, Monday morning, December 30th, the Pentagon issued some F-15 fighter jets to do some missile strikes in Iraq, in Syria, against some Iranian-backed militants that they're blaming for a U.S. contractor who got killed, I believe, about a week ago or so. So as you see, man, things are getting hot. So as Esau's making his move against us, just remember that Yahushua is going to fight for his elect. He's going to fight for us, man. And he's also going to bring war and confusion and destruction upon our enemy, our chief enemy, the house of Esau. But that's all. I just wanted to touch on this, man. Hopefully it was edifying. Call Halon, Yahweh Hashem, Yahweh Shai, Hashem, Ruach HaKodesh. And until next time, Shalom.